Today we're going to combine all the different parts of our moose artwork into one project. So the first thing that I need to do is go back to all three of my different pieces and finish anything that is not done. If you need to still decorate your sweater or add more details to your landscape, or like me, you might need to design your wallpaper. Now that all my pieces are finished, I have to lay them out in a way that looks good. So I'm gonna make sure that I don't glue yet because I wanna decide where my window should go and where my moose should go. Now, once I figured this out, it is time for me to start gluing things in place. And the first thing I'm gonna start with is my window. I'm going to choose trim for my window in a color that is different from the colors of my moose because I don't want these papers to all blend together. Once I've chosen that color, I'm gonna start cutting it into strips. And these strips are going to be the wooden frame of my window. So these are long enough for the vertical pieces. And then you might have to cut some pieces shorter for the horizontal parts. So make sure that you are measuring as you're cutting all these pieces out. Now that I have all my pieces cut out, I'm gonna start gluing down with tiny glue dots. So I'm gonna start by flipping over my landscape. I only need glue around the edge. So I'm gonna shake, 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 and then put some dots around the edge, no big globs anywhere, and no glue in the middle. Gluing in the middle doesn't help. It's the edges that we want to stick down. And now I'm gonna press that into place. Now on these pieces, I'm gonna make sure I'm using tiny dots because they are smaller, and I don't want any glue to be sneaking out the sides of my pieces when I glue them down. That makes my artwork look messy. It also makes it possible for other things to get stuck to it if there's glue everywhere. Now it's time to add my moose. It is okay if your moose antlers hang off the edge a little bit. That's gonna give this project kind of a cool look, like some of the things are just kind of exploding off the page a little bit. So if parts of it hang off, that's okay. You do want to think about the parts that are hanging off. Try not to get glue on those parts because then it will just stick to the table. So I'm not gonna put glue up there. I'm just gonna put it down here. Once again, only putting glue around the edge and not in the middle. Now, since I didn't use a whole lot of glue, it should be somewhat easy for me to flip this over because the glue is not dripping everywhere, and then get it glued into place. If any glue is on your wallpaper, make sure you wipe it off with a towel. And I'm gonna add a few extra drops there. Once we have all these pieces glued on, we can make extra details to go into our artwork, including our mug of hot cocoa.